Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to look at something a little bit pathetic, as I would probably classify it as pathetic more than anything else. We have a thread on Reddit here that someone posted, King Kuro, 8 days ago. Caught these two breaking into an Astral Radiance ETB earlier today, so upsetting to see this kind of behavior. So, again, I think it's more pathetic than it is upsetting. I just can't put myself in a position at any point where I would do this, whether I knew somebody was taking a picture of me or not. It just doesn't. These two look like they're probably in their 30s, maybe late 20s, early 30s, and they're in a department store opening Pokemon cards. So this isn't like an uncommon thing. I really have no idea why the Pokemon Company, why Walmart, why Toys R Us, and Toys R Us in Canada. My apologies to all you Americans who no longer have a Toys R Us, but all of these stores, I don't understand why in this day and age they don't just copy the tried and true formula that we've had for years in terms of video games, where everything's behind glass. You can still see everything, but you have to ask somebody to open the door for you. Maybe they don't want to pay the staff to do it. I think also it's largely because of the fact that Walmart, especially, they're not responsible for that section, and basically they only pay for anything that sells. So it's more so like it's got a place on the shelf, but it's like MJ Holdings, etc. All the other stocky walkies. I think they've changed. I can't even keep track of which ones stock which stores with Targets and Walmarts and stuff like that. But they have the rep that goes in and actually stocks the inventory rather than Walmart just like receiving pallets of that stuff. So especially also with the release dates, why is it so hard? Back in my day, we had video game releases. You show up, you do like a midnight release, whatever. They still do it for video games where I think they'd still do it for some video games at like GameStop, EB Games. I guess it's now all GameStop, but that sort of thing. So why they don't just treat the trading cards like the video games it's beyond me. I don't get it. But there's got to be some sort of like monetary, maybe the contract itself, etc. But you would think after it gets stolen so many times, stuff gets opened on the shelf so many times, and you would think that it would be kids, but apparently not. We got middle-aged dudes hanging out here opening cards. Oh my goodness, guys. All right, I see it way too many. I know there's going to be so many bad takes. We're going to go through all the comments. There's going to be bad takes here because anytime I make a video about people stealing things, and it's Pokemon card related, people are like, oh, it's only cardboard. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, I only steal from Walmart and Target. Like, that's not a good excuse. Just don't steal. You don't need to steal. If you hate Walmart, if you hate Target, because they hurt small businesses, stop buying from Walmart and Target. I see so many people that are like, why would you even buy? I don't even know why you would buy from Walmart, other than the fact that you're like, there's no planning in advance. You should be going to psapikachu.com, buying it for much less. You can pre-order it. It'll show up to your house. You don't even have to go to Walmart like these two. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like spontaneous. Like people need to have it right at the time. But also like you're wasting time and gas and energy driving around town to see if they even have the stuff that you want versus just ordering. I don't really get that. But to each their own. So we have the title, caught these two breaking into an Astral Radiance ETB earlier today. So upsetting to see this behavior. All right, B. Millie Blunts. You guys let me know down below what you think. Is this? I guess that's pathetic. There. What's the one word that you think describes this best? Try to be original. Let's see if we can get some good answers down below. Pathetic. Double crying face. Crying laughing face. I'd expect this from a middle schooler. German Daniel says, well, they dress like middle schoolers, if that counts. Ooh, we're taking shots now. GFK Lucifer. Legit always assumed it was some kids, never grown-ass adult. LOL. Now it's mostly grown-ass adults. Kids know better and are too afraid to get caught or with their parents. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, definitely, like, older kids, I think, is more likely the scenario here. I don't know. How do you make a survey to find out exactly what the age demographic is of the people stealing the Pokemon cards? But I think just in general, just everything is a flawed system where the employees are kind of just told to let people steal crap, people stealing crap, and it just makes the price go up on everything anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It's a man, people just no shame, just zero shame. Who said they graduated? Well, adults do this. That's just sad. Adult children. This guy clearly has been waiting for his mom to finish laundry. Crying, laughing face. Unfortunately, more trips around the sun doesn't equal maturity or sense for everyone. Probably looking for high value cards to sell online. Yeah, probably. Clearly old enough to know better. What abhorrent behavior. So I've seen like kids that have done this. They'll like go into Walmart, steal all the cards, open the cards, sell the singles to like a game store or whatever, and then like rinse and repeat. Like clear as day that's what they were doing. But apple bottom jeans with fur, W fur. Astro Radiance was better than any set in 2020. What do you mean? We got some deleted comments. Somebody was upset. Astral Radiance, why do people, is there anyone out there that doesn't like Astral Radiance? I think all the Trainer Gallery sets are freaking sick nasty. Scrunchy Cunt 87 says, peak of Pokemon cards in 2020. Are Pokemon cards really still that popular? They're pretty popular. If it was Japanese Pokemon cards, I guess those are like what's really popping off at the moment. Had this discussion in the happy hour a little bit. And I mean, I think it's just the fact that the Japanese Pokemon market was, or kind of is, so small in terms of like how much they print, how much they needed prior to, that when all of a sudden everyone in the West decides that now they're Japanese Pokemon card collectors and everyone hops in, I don't think it takes very much in order to see the prices absolutely skyrocket the way that they have, to see the like unavailability of the boxes and stuff like that. So it's kind of the same thing we saw in English. Except I don't even think it needs a fraction of the amount of people to like get into whatever it is to get in Japanese. To like people got into English, where we saw a shortage everywhere. And yes, it'll correct itself. And they're a business. They will print more cards if they see that they need more cards. And the releases might become bigger. They might be a little hesitant to do it because if it's like a temporary bump, then who knows. Also, just where they probably mostly don't expect or want people outside of Japan to buy the product, because it even says on the product itself for sale in Japan only. So it's a weird little scenario, but we'll see how it plays out. The Mighty Bird. There was a massive peak in interest in Pokemon, not as much anymore, hence why I felt this type of behavior in the image would have gone away. But alas, I am somehow surprised it still happens. I mean, it could probably happen like regardless of how much like hype or how much interest there is in the hobby at any given time. It's two guys that are idiots that are opening stuff off the shelf. I mean, that could happen at any point. They could be opening, I don't know, what's the cheapest thing they could find, like Uno cards or something. Scrunchy says, oh, okay, I guess the pandemic might have had an effect, but I figured the card game, since it's a social thing, wouldn't have seen it. But I didn't even know they were still popular enough to steal. At least not enough for these guys. I mean, I guess they're still immature, but to me they look 20, 24 or so. I'd say probably older than that, but careless, repeat. There was a huge issue in 2020 where people were rioting. Everything sold out instantly, and Target was limiting one pack per customer to prevent fights. Otherwise, some guy would stand in line at 2 a.m. or whatever and clear the whole shelf as the first person. It wasn't just Pokemon. Sports cards were having issues too, just not the same extent. I know a lot of when this stuff was still happening, it's really weird because there was also, you could just buy a lot of that stuff online for less money and not stand in line. I don't know. And also, like, if you hate scalpers, you hate people that are reselling, just don't buy from people that are reselling. That's the best way to combat it. It's like the best way to, if you don't like Target, if you don't like Walmart, if you don't like scalpers, don't buy anything from them. It's pretty easy. If you don't like Amazon, don't buy anything from Amazon. Scrunchy. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah, Pokemon cards and video games went absolutely crazy, particularly graded ones. Graded services had like 6 months plus wait and had even stopped taking economy level requests. Card collecting isn't really social anymore. Most people don't play the game. And trading, if it happens, is usually done online through sites which evaluate and equalize the trades. What? So no one is getting ripped off. Gone are the days of the kid with the memorized prices trading up by offering hype over long-term value at a local play event. Okay, I don't know about this. What we're talking about here about equalizing the trades online sounds like not a thing necessarily. I mean, there's still trades online, but I mean, most times, regardless of what you're trading, you're kind of trying to keep it at least close in value. Scrunchy. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten how hard it was to find consoles because everybody wanted something to do at home, but that seems like forever ago to me. Yeah, and then gaming computers and like the graphics cards because the people were mining with them, and then also people wanted them for gaming computers. It was something. Nennis says they're adults too. Pathetic. It's so stupid. I've seen so many packs on the counter just opened and trashed everywhere. I'd feel like the biggest effing idiot if I ever did that and got caught. You know, even your friends would call you a effing idiot and you'd never hear the end of it for the rest of your life. Yeah, pretty much. I can't imagine. If I had like a friend of mine or something that was doing this, they're probably not. I don't think they're probably a friend at that point anymore. Not necessarily you got to be friends off, but just like got to kind of reevaluate who you're hanging out with if they're going into a Walmart and opening Pokemon cards off the shelf. Everyone does this at Walmart, and the employees don't care whatsoever. Witnessed 2 dudes looking around, acting sketchy around the Pokemon cards, and told a worker, and he didn't even care. The worst product for this is definitely those like mini portfolios that come with the one booster pack. The booster pack is like almost always missing. There's a couple times where I've been in. I think it was the time that I was in when I was eating the one chip challenge, and I was in a Walmart, and I just kind of like handed it to an employee. I was like, "Hey, someone stole the contents out of this." I don't know. I'm assuming that they didn't put it back on the shelf. Hopefully somebody doesn't buy the mini portfolio though, like without making sure that the booster pack is inside it. But Punk RC, this happens all the time at my Walmart. One time the card section was trashed with a bunch of ripped open product. I told the manager. He laughed and said thanks, then said, "Want to know the best thing about Pokemon cards? We still make money when people steal them, so I assume they can get reimbursed or something." It was a crazy experience. Maybe. I'd like to know the exact details on how that works with the distributors and stuff. Maybe Walmart gets paid automatically whenever anything gets put on the shelf, and then they have to like pay out. I don't know how that works. If anyone knows how that works, please let me know. Gilly Banos says, in my country, they put it in a locked display. When I was younger, it was open, but I guess people stole a lot there as well, so it's pretty nice. I've had like a couple locations where I've seen they put it behind like the customer service desk and stuff like that. Well, whether it's like to limit how many people are buying, but also like people were clearly like stealing the stuff. And that's the thing too. If they're breaking it apart and stealing it, then there's not really a good way to do it. You can't really put security tags through the packs themselves. Grunt Mods, he's not even close. I guess there's those like wrappy strappy things. And then people complain that the boxes are damaged. All the sealed collectors. Grunt Mods, he's not even close, LOL. Not being on the hook doesn't mean they made money for them. If anything, the vendor is likely going to pull out of that Walmart if the theft stays high. I think I've seen that too. So you see like some Walmarts that they just like never get stuff. Yeah, here we go. We got Quartra who says, my local Walmart no longer sells Pokemon cards for this exact reason. Spinrut says, doesn't MJ lease out the space? If so, then he's right. Stolen/damaged means no logged sales, which means nothing to MJ, so they just get paid for shelf space when things get stolen. That could be it. They tell me the employees to let go because it's not worth it, your life, to confront them. The company just writes it off as a loss. The company doesn't even write it off. Things like trading cards, greeting cards, soda, and bread are stocked by vendors who either rent the shelf space and stock their own product, or who get paid by Walmart when an item sells. My mom worked for Bunny Bread for a bit, and sometimes different bread companies would smash the The competition is bred, so theirs would sell since store payment only happened at the. What is it, like bread wars? Holy crap. Spinrut says that's pretty cutthroat and savage. I mean, damn, I'm all for making my money, but I'd rather not do it by taking money out of someone else's pocket like that. Honestly, if I was a store, I wouldn't want that type of shiz going down in my aisles. Yes, it's like I figured and commented above. MJ leases the space. If it's stolen or damaged, it doesn't generate log of sale, so MJ doesn't get its cut. So anything not sold is not paid out. End of the day, Walmart still gets the money for the shelf space. Yeah, that's I guess that explains it. That's why it's not in the video game section. Although I guess Walmart has their own. They actually get the video games and stuff. I don't know why they don't go with that business model, but I guess that it's working for them. I guess maybe they can pick and choose. One Landscape 8412 at Walmart. There's actually a company that stocks the shelves for cards. Walmart around here doesn't do that themselves. What the stalker for them told me was that they are given the shelf space and Walmart just sells it. So Walmart has low exposure to stolen product. MJ Holdings seems to supply Walmart. Target, on the other hand, has roughly a 50% shared loss. Excel Marketing seems to stock most Targets. Yeah, I think that's who does it now. There used to be somebody else. Or maybe it was MJ before the Target, but now Target does Excel. So maybe there's like contracts that they're bidding on, whether Excel or MJ or whoever. And so they got to like deal with all this crap. And then Walmart can kind of like wipe their hands of it. But so when you're stealing this stuff, when you're opening it on the shelf, you're stealing from the supplier, not necessarily Walmart. So if you thought you were hurting Walmart, I guess no, not really. From the sounds of things, and it kind of makes sense. Bravissimo says that this is nothing. I've seen entire Charizard premium collections opened up and literally dozens of ETBs as well. No wonder this Walmart in question closes down on the 21st for good. Good. The people working there don't seem to care either. I mean, sorry for everyone who needs a grocery store, though. I don't know if it's necessarily like that they don't care. There's just like a whole lot of nothing that they can do. I think laws in general for stealing Portland has to be, or California. SE Southeast Chicago. Okay. Comment removed by moderator. Ooh, that must have been a juicy one. Okay. FK, my wife, says workers don't get paid enough to care, and who tells on someone stealing Pokemon cards from a multi-billion-dollar corp that doesn't even treat their workers fairly. So here, there's the take. I hate this take so much. It's just like, you're gonna justify stealing. Like, come on. Clearly, you were not. You're not a good person. You're a loser. If you're stealing from Walmart, whether you like Walmart or not, you're a loser. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you that. Smarten up. Let's see. The Espeon. I don't necessarily care about Walmart. I care about the other people who want to buy those cards. They're ruining it. So I don't think this is a thing either. Because I mean, is anyone like really dying to find an Astral Radiance ETB right now? No, they're not. You can buy those online. There's Astral Radiance packs in pretty much every product. Buy it online. Don't buy it from Walmart. And that's how your disdain from Walmart, etc. Just take it out by purchasing, not by stealing from them, by purchasing from other locations, preferably game stores, etc. Tom 42077 or 42077, depending on how stoned he is. I would, don't matter how rich a company is, stealing ain't good. If I see anyone stealing, I'll take video and call security or the cops. People going to act like fools, they will get treated like fools. Exactly, a wrong does not make another wrong right. Holy crap. Okay, we're probably not going to go through the 27 more replies there. Jeez. The Great Bra says, I used to work at a skate park pretty close to a grocery store. Kid got arrested for stealing a bottle of Axe body spray. He could have just sprayed himself and left. That was like over 10 years ago, and it still makes me giggle. What? I mean, no, you don't need to spray yourself. It's just, come on. And why are you stealing Axe? Like, how? Hopefully that was like a learning lesson and they don't do it again, but you never know. Brock the Rock 77 story time. When I was a staff instructor in the Navy, I had to pick up one of my students from jail at midnight. The kid had been stealing Pokemon cards for weeks, and he finally got caught. After having a discussion with the police chief, I asked if he could leave him in the holding cell for the weekend to make him sweat and really think about what he did. He was released on that Monday. Captain's mast a few hours later, denuked, removed from nuclear training, and kicked out of the Navy within 3 months of the incident. Threw away a good career and a future for cards he could have easily purchased. Hard agree. I feel like it's just like it's kind of that thing that you just need to be taught when you're younger that it's not right. You don't steal from anyone. You don't need to steal from anyone. That's lazy, and it's wrong. Just don't steal. That was my first thought. I did some dumb shiz as a 13 or 14-year-old, including shoplifting, but the difference is I am immensely ashamed of it and wouldn't dream of doing something like that now. People like this should be confronted and shamed publicly. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Same with like Pokemon scams and everything else. I mean, maybe they learn when they're confronted and shamed publicly. Maybe that's what it takes, and maybe they're not embarrassed until people see them do it and make fun of them, I guess. Powerline. Power links. Power links? I once bought some products that had been opened, had every rare card removed, resealed, and returned. When I went back to the store, the customer service employee remembered the guy, an adult, who made the return recently. They let me swap 4 identical products on the shelf, and I opened them in front of the customer service to be safe. Sure enough, those were opened and resealed too. I'm just glad I found it and understood that there was a problem. Imagine if a kid who didn't know better got them and just assumed they were unlucky. I don't know what store this was from, but typically all these big box stores, the large majority of the returns end up like they don't get put back on the shelves, whether it's Walmart, Amazon, etc. They will like inspect them and put them. There was a picture recently that surfaced that someone had like a Second Life used ETBs that they received. Yeah, for the most part, that's not supposed to happen with Walmart, etc. They're supposed to like just all the returns go off, whether it's open box or whatever. They all go onto like pallets, and the pallets are sold off to people at auction. So usually not the case, and no, they shouldn't accept returns on trading cards. If they do accept returns on them, there's no way they should be putting them back on the shelf. Ghetto Museo. That being said, not saying that you can't end up with something from like third-party sellers on Amazon, etc., that have resealed some stuff, but typically the department stores, I'm pretty sure both Walmart and Target always they don't restock the shelves with the things that are returned, but maybe there's exceptions. Who knows? Ghetto Museo. I was just gonna say, grown-ass men doing this, LOL. How embarrassing. Panda_hat. Imagine committing crime for something so relatively cheap and stupid. I guess they think even if they're caught, they'll face no consequences. AZ Raver. Next time you gotta hit them with the really loud, "Oh, he's stealing." When you're right there, they'll get scared. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm into the baseball card scene, but Reddit hit me with a, "You might like this. Y'all seem tight in here." Knife As says, baseball cards are dope. I'd collect those too, but Pokemon already eats enough into my not so gaudy annual income. Green Guy. I feel the same way. Tried other card hobbies when Pokemon started to burn me out, but I always come back. Ironically, my love for Pokemon cards as a younger kid got me into baseball cards, but baseball is the sport I really only pay attention to. I'm beyond excited for the World Baseball Classic, but I'm the only one. All right, why are we getting into baseball here? All right. Pokemon got me into football cards when I was younger. Now I got so much cardboard I could build a house. That's the thing. Like, I guess it depends on like how much Pokemon you're collecting. I'm collecting an amount of Pokemon that just like there's no way I can start collecting, even justify collecting like much of anything else, just because my Pokemon cards just take up so much space. Even though they're not graded, they're in binders, but it's a lot. It's also it's a pretty lofty goal that I'm trying to get one of every English card. So it's it's enough. Same here. Although I do open the zillions of lv.x just as a nice little switch up. I think it's a nice little thing to do every now and then. Whether it's opening cards, whether it's playing cards, play a little bit of Magic Arena to, give me your Pokemon palette a little cleanse. Tanned Marshy says, same here. Started with Pokemon after my cousin gave me a fat stack when I was a kid, and then got into doing soccer cards for the past 2 years. All right. Let's see if we got any good ones here. I collect Kirby Pocket cards only as far as baseball. Oh, I thought he meant like Kirby, like Nintendo Kirby. I'm not sure who Kirby Puckett is. My apologies for all you baseballers. Griffey cards. All right, let's see what we got for in terms of other actual posts here. I'm just going to go ahead and ask if you got any Vogelback. Oh my goodness. Dude is doing a pretty crap job at being lookout. They're so obvious. So oblivious, they didn't even notice you snapping a picture of them. Pretty sad. Plot twist, Op is with them. Ooh, that'd be pretty funny. Showtimer. How are you going to have a 5 o'clock shadow with a full goatee? LOL. Goes with the polo shirt / gym shorts look. I just wear black clothes still. LOL. Black tees, black pants, and Converse black heart. Prime douche bag aesthetic. That's just how hair grows. Holy moly, guys. We getting heated in here. I really hate these type of people. Ruins the hobby for everyone. Yeah, it makes the person buying everything on the shelf just look mildly self-centered. You're gonna steal, at least wait until you get home to open what you've permanently borrowed. I mean, the thing is that they can open it and then not have to have a jacket with a big ass ETB in it. Much easier to walk out with loose packs than an entire sealed ETB, or even like the cards. You wouldn't believe how easy it is to snag an ETB. You didn't say you couldn't. It's so easier to put the packs in your pocket than concealing an entire ETB. Nah, cameras are person now. Easily spot things being pocketed rather than a box not being checked out from your cart. That's a common trick. Then if you get caught, say, oh shoot, I forgot this was in there. I'd imagine it makes it hard when you actually have an item you forget to scan. If you do it too often, though, the people that come to steal, that means that they got to actually purchase something, though, which they might not be looking to do. But you stick it up your buns. He's confused whether to play golf, run, work out, or ride a truck. Ride a truck. WTF is his outfit. Okay, I think we're going to call it there. We had a lot. There's a pretty, holy crap, there's a lot of, if anyone wants to read any of the comments here, maybe I'll give it a scroll through. You can pause the video if you want to. It's embarrassing that these grown-ass men can't just buy it. That is 100% accurate. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was enjoyable. Hopefully you guys agree with me. There's no need to steal. If you're a respectable human being, whether if you know what, if you hate Walmart so much that it makes you red and you can't sleep at night, you gotta just like, you're so angry that you're freaking spanking yourself to it, then it just buy from somewhere else. You don't need to steal. That's bad excuse. Terrible excuse, terrible actions by people that are old enough to know better, or they should know better. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the Discord. Have a good one. Love you guys. Take care of each other out there. Bye.